Just the way create is an active word, it's an action word. The verb create is an action word. And the word creativity is an active process. So you can't be creative and sit on your idea and do nothing about it. That's what I told this guy. I said, so you mean you are suppressing your inner Zuckerberg? The guy laughed when I said it. I said, you are suppressing your inner Zuckerberg. You have a Mark Zuckerberg inside of you, but you are suppressing that inner genius inside of you because of one small challenge. You see, this is where people don't understand that creativity is an action word. You have to do something to create. You can't have an idea and call yourself creative, because having an idea is passive. Everybody has ideas. Having an idea, there's nothing difficult about having ideas, but the problem is in being able to turn that idea into a creation. And so, what is creativity? The ability to create. Creativity, I have a simple equation for creativity: thinking plus doing. Number two, what is creativity? Ability to solve problems. Now, creativity exists to solve problems. So if you have a problem that's stopping you from turning your idea into a tangible creation or profitable solution, you have creativity. And if you ignite that creativity, that's what you need to be able to solve that problem. Now, when God created man, God built into man the ability to solve problems. God built into man the ability to create. And why do I say that? As a software engineer, when we write code, when we create software, when we create programs, one of the things we do, the first things we do is to test it. To test that it behaves the way we intend it to behave. That the code that we've written is performing the way we want it to perform. And so, when God created man, God put man under three tests. The first test was a test of his creativity. The second test was a test of his problem-solving skills. And then the third test was a test of his obedience. Adam passed the first two tests, but he failed the third one. And I'm going to explain that. So, when God created man, he created Adam. The Bible says that he put him in the garden and he told him to dress it and keep it. He gave Adam work to do. He gave him a job to do. Nobody gives you a job for the sake of giving you a job. Every company hires people so that these people can help them solve problems. So when God was giving Adam the job in the garden to dress it and keep it, God was putting Adam's problem-solving skills that he had built into him to test. So God has wired in you the capacity to solve problems. That's why he tested Adam for problem solving. Now, after doing that, Adam passed it because he did the job well enough, and then God gave him another task to test his creativity. God brought animals before him and told him to name those animals. Adam had not read any book about animal naming. He had not gone to school about it. He had not taken any course about it. But God wanted to test his creativity. Now, creativity is that thing that helps you prefer solutions even when you did not take any formal education for it. There's a place for education, where creativity is concerned, but education does not make you creative. Creativity is what makes your education relevant. That's why we have many people who have great and fabulous education but are not creative with the knowledge they've gathered. They still have imposter syndrome. They still feel like they need to get more certificates before they can be creative. But certificates don't make you creative. It's problem-solving ability that makes you creative. And you have in you the ability to solve problems because God has built it in you. But if you don't ignite that capacity, if you don't boost that potential, if you don't supercharge and jumpstart that dead battery in you, you may just sit there and be like every average human being and live the world like an average human being. Now, the third description of creativity I'm going to give to you is that creativity is a propelling force. Creativity is a propelling force. Now, take a look at, a rocket. Before a rocket leaves the ground into space, something happens. It is ignited, when they turn the ignition of the engine, it is ignited, and then the fuel of the rocket gets mixed with oxygen and it goes through combustion process, and the combustion process produces some internal force that propels the rocket and gives it an escape velocity to escape the gravitational pull of the earth. So Creativity is that propelling force. Now, if you are creative, you will not be able to rest until you do something about your ideas, until you produce your idea, because it will keep propelling you to take action. It will keep propelling you. There will be obstacles, but that force will be pushing you to do something about it. It will be pushing you to leverage the resources you have, to become resourceful with the little resources that you have, just to make sure that you are able to produce the solution that you were born to produce. So creativity is a propelling force. That's why when people say I'm creative, but the reason why I've not done anything about this idea is because I have this little or big challenge. I tell them, I say, you don't understand what it means to be creative. If you are really creative, you'll be propelled to do something about it. Necessity will be laid on you and you won't be able to sleep. You need that fire ignited in you. And that's why I said I'm going to set your creativity ablaze in this program. And that's exactly what I'm doing.